Welcome back. In this unit, you'll learn more fretted notes on the first string, 30-second note rhythms, and different methods for notating swing. The first note is E. E is in the third ledger line above the staff. To play E, fret the 12th fret on the first string. F sits on top of the third ledger line above the staff, and to play F, fret the 13th fret of the first string. F sharp and G flat are enharmonics. To play F sharp or G flat, fret the 14th fret on the first string. And finally, G. G sits on top of the fourth ledger line above the staff. To play G, fret the 15th fret. Moving on to rhythm. A 30-second note sustains for 1/8 of a beat in simple meter. The 30-second note can be written in two ways, with 3 beams or 3 flags. This example contains 4 30-second notes. The 30-second note consists of a note head that's colored in, a stem, and 3 beams. In this example, the 30-second notes contain flags instead of beams. And here, a 30-second rest creates silence for 1/8 of a beat. It consists of a diagonal line with 3 small flags. So, how should you count 30-second notes in simple meter? Well, it's impossible to count them in a methodical manner at a brisk tempo, simply because they proceed faster than most of us can count. Therefore, it's best to devote part of your practice to recognizing and playing different combinations of 30-second and 16th note rhythms. Aim to play them in relation to the beat in an intuitive manner. However, while you're developing the skill, it'll help to slow down the beat and count according to the method that I'll introduce in just a moment. When this becomes manageable, speed up the beat little by little until you're counting only the beat, not the rhythmic subdivisions. I recommend counting 30-second notes in this way. The first eighth of the beat receives a number, which represents its placement in the measure. The second eighth receives the sound D. The third receives the sound E. The fourth receives the sound da. The fifth receives the sound and. The sixth receives the sound D. The seventh eighth receives the sound ah. And the last eighth of the beat receives the sound da. Bear in mind that 30-second notes are usually ornamental, and when applicable, it'll help to recognize them as a trill, a turn, a mordent, etc. Further, ornaments are often played with a greater degree of expression and flexibility because they're not as structurally important as the melody. But despite this fact, many composers request that musicians perform 30-second notes and ornaments with rhythmic precision. So now I'll introduce the dotted 16th rhythm. The dotted 16th note sustains for 3/4 of a half of a beat. The dotted 16th note consists of a 16th note with a dot positioned close to its note head. The dotted 16th rest creates silence for 3/4 of a half of a beat, and its rest is a 16th rest with a dot. Dotted 16th and 30-second notes frequently beam together to form recognizable groups. Here are 2 combinations, and I'll demonstrate. 1 D E da and D a da, 1 D E da and D a da. 16th and 30-second notes frequently beam together to form recognizable groups. Here are 3 combinations. I'll demonstrate. 1 D E da and D a da, 1 D E da and D a da, 1 D E da and D a da. Many of you already know swing rhythm, as it's central to blues and jazz music. Swing rhythm involves a consistent and asymmetrical subdivision of the beat that in most cases can't be accurately represented using the rhythmic symbols available in standard notation. And as a result, the notation used to represent swing is only an approximation of the rhythm itself. Nonetheless, musicians have attempted to notate swing rhythm in various ways for over a century. In nearly all cases, the word swing is written above the time signature. Most musicians advocate to notate swing rhythm in simple meter, as in this example from Swing by Émile Pourret. In this piece, each eighth note grouping, seen in Guitar 1, should not be played straight, meaning with equal subdivisions of the beat. like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Instead, each eighth note grouping should be swung, meaning with asymmetrical subdivisions of the beat, which is often described as long, short, or dooba. I'll demonstrate again with swing. Dooba, 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 dooba. One type of swing rhythm that can be notated accurately is shuffle rhythm. Shuffle occurs when the asymmetrical subdivision of the beat adheres to a 2-to-1 ratio. This rhythm is typically notated in simple meter, like other forms of swing, with the word shuffle or sometimes swing written above the time signature. However, in this example from Crazy Vertical Blues by Joan Greenwald, shuffle rhythm, seen in Guitar 2, is notated in compound meter. I'll demonstrate by playing the shuffle rhythm in Guitar 2. 1 and a, 2 and a. As usual, we'll conclude with a sight reading tip. If you're interested in developing swing rhythm, bear in mind that there are many ways to swing. Further, the swing feel is achieved by a combination of articulation, phrasing, and rhythm. Therefore, I suggest you listen to great blues and jazz musicians, emulate their swing, and eventually play in a way that works for you. Enjoy the music, and I'll see you in the next unit. Bye-bye.